Midwives will walk off the wards later this month as they strike over what they say is poor pay. Maris, the union for midwives employed by DHBs, say they were offered the same amount that nurses accepted in August. That was a minimum of 12.5% over the next 3 years. But midwives say they have more training and responsibility than nurses and therefore should be paid more. District health boards say they're positive they'll resolve the pay dispute and avoid the strikes, which are scheduled to run for 2 hours each day from November the 22nd to December the 5th. Jim Green is the spokesperson for the DHB and he joins me now on the phone. Mr. Green, the Midwives Union says that they are worth more than nurses. Are they?
Well, that's a topic that we've discussed quite extensively with the Midwives Union over the course of these negotiations, and haven't been able to resolve that. We think that probably does relate to pay equity, and we know that, as you know, there are claims out there within the health sector for various occupational groups to make a claim around pay equity. So we think that's a process that would be covered within that. And, really the offer that we made to this union for their members is a very good one, and we think that that's a good point to move on with that at this point.
They would argue that they've basically been lumped in with the nurses, and clearly the feeling they have is that they are second-class citizens. They are their own profession, they argue, 4 years training, so more than a nurse does, and greater responsibility. So what is that worth?
Well, we wouldn't necessarily share all of those arguments, obviously, and that's part of the discussions that we've been having with them. I think, when it comes down to it, what we've offered them is a very, very substantial pay increase, over $10,000 over the next 18 months, which is quite substantial. And, that's the main thing that we want to talk with them about, and we'll talk further with them, of course. But our biggest focus at the moment, of course, is protecting the safety of women and babies, in this period of strike action that's has been announced.
How are you going to manage during that strike?
Well, we'll have our contingency plans in place. We've already had some discussions with Maris about that and the life-preserving services that we will put in place over that period of time. But it's going to be very disruptive for women and babies, and we're concerned to make sure that they're kept safe over this period of time.
Disruptive in what way? What's it going to mean in practical terms for women who come in?
Well, I think obviously there's a periods of time when midwives will be walking off the job, and we have to arrange to make sure that we provide basic support services for them over that period of time, and have the life-preserving services there to be there and to come in to support women should their needs increase over that point of time. But it will mean, and as the union says, it's designed to be disruptive, and that will be disruptive to women. So, for instance, if you are needing a planned induction or a caesarean section, then that will have to be changed around to fit in, to make sure it's safe to do that, when these periods of strike action are on.
So are they being irresponsible in striking?
I think, strikes are always difficult things within the health sector, to make sure that people are kept safe. And that's our main focus in the first instance, to make sure that women and babies will be kept safe over this period of time. And, Maris,
can you guarantee that they will be?
Life-preserving services. We can do the very, very best that we can, and Maris will help us with that, with the life-preserving services. And that, of course, has to be our primary focus at the moment. We haven't actually received a strike notice yet, but we expect to get that soon. And, we'll kick into action already about planning around that. And at the same time, we'll be getting back into talks, with the union about how we might be able to avert this, because that would be the best option.
You seem confident that you'll be able to do it. So does that mean you've got more money that you can throw at this problem?
No, I don't think we're confident in being able to do it. What we are really concentrating on is being able to talk with the union about what might be able to avert this action, because, it will be disruptive, it will be difficult for women and their babies, and we want to avert that if we can.
They're clear about how you can do that. It's more money. So is there more money for the midwives? Have you got more money that you can add to the offer?
Well, I think that, we were in the same situation with nurses as well. They wanted more money, but, there's only a certain amount of money that we've got. We think we've put up a really good deal, and it's quite substantial, and that's what we want to get back and talk with them about, what are the issues again about why that doesn't work for them and their members.
But they've rejected what you feel is a really good offer. So, to push forward, is there any more money?
Well, we would have to look about how we're packaging this. That would be the only way that we'd be able to do something that might be able to be acceptable, that we'd be able to get a settlement out of it. And that's going to require more talking, and we need to get back to doing that.
What do you mean, how you package it? What are the options?
Well, we have got a finite amount of money to be able to spend. It's the same with anything. As I said, other unions and other groups of employees, always would like to have more than what we're able to offer them. But we always come down to a settlement on that, and we hope that we'll be able to do that with the Mirrors midwives and their members as well.
All right, thank you for joining us this evening. That is Jim Green, who is the spokesperson for the DHBs, talking there about the strike action that is planned by the midwives.